Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to Backfire Simsport TV for another action-packed round in the TCR Challenge Cup Season 23. Tonight, we are coming to you live from the legendary Road America, a true old-school circuit with long straights, heavy braking zones, and relentless lap lengths punishing even the smallest mistakes. I'm in the booth. Alongside me is my cameraman and also co-commentator who did a lovely job last week on the Nürburgring, Jay Carley. And together we are guiding you through every battle, every strategic call, and every dramatic moment from this iconic 4-mile monster. Welcome, Jay.
That's probably the nicest intro I've ever had from you in all my career doing this. It's not a very long career, but it's good that we've got that out of the way. I'm expecting the next one to be absolutely horrible and horrendous, but probably it's a pleasure to be in the booth with you today and at such fantastic views as we're getting now at Road America. I'm excited. After a really successful super sprint format last week, we go back to our original sprint feature and Road America. Well, where do we even begin with how great this track is for racing?
Road America is amazing. I do want to point out something. Why is, like beneath my name, it's telling Weber Nijkamp wobbly kneecaps also here? What does that even mean?
I don't know actually. This is, I picked the file up as it was presented to me. So
You're
yeah.
called button pusher. Nice.
Yeah, I think we've both been stitched up a little bit here, but alas, the show must go on. The show must go on.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, that's not linger too long. Now, Road America, I mean, it's a true driver's circus, right? You have long straights, heavy braking zones, high-speed corners, going through the carousel. Coming out of the carousel, you instantly go into the kink, and especially in the first 2-3 laps, where the tires are not completely up to temperature, it's about going through that quickly, but in a safe manner, and also like how much risk are you willing to take to maybe get that overtake coming towards Canada corner. And it's gonna punish you. It's gonna be relentless, and especially those early opening laps. I'm almost out of words of how much in love I am with this circuit. Besides, this first circuit I could properly drive. That helps. It makes me feel nostalgic. But it's amazing to have a race on this. You have a lot of overtaking opportunities, side-by-side action. You can go through the kink side-by-side and even get through Canada corner and end up at the carousel back again, and you're still side-by-side.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those circuits where it doesn't matter where you are, you can expect someone to dive in, but at the same time you can keep, like you said yourselves, like anywhere on the circuit you're going to find yourself side by side. I've just watched the camera there. There's two people literally side by side going up the hill, battling each other in this practice session here. But yeah, I saw a clip before the stream of what could happen when it goes wrong. Luckily we're not going to be in LMP2s and we're not auditioning for a role in the next Armageddon movie, but it seems, although there is plenty of places to battle on here, there's plenty of width on the track. There's also quite a fair few danger zones, especially in fields like this, where a lot of cars, a lot of minds, a lot of racing experience, and even if you're a mind reader, I feel there's going to be a couple of big mistakes made today. What do you think, Wobbly?
Instantly, I think you're completely right and spot on the way how you describe it. I do think that it's going to be in the little things because the track is so long and you have about 6 braking zones. It looks like a very long track, but in fact there's like just like 5 corners where you really can make a difference, and it's going to be chaotic even for the most the most talented drivers. But with this field and with the talent we got, and also looking at how well last week on the Nürburgring when a monsoon went down, I think that we're going to be fine and these drivers are capable of handling it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be absolutely fine on the weather front today, so a lot of the drivers here today are going to be praising the Lord or whatever they believe in. But shall we get on to the current championships. Just as a quick note to everybody, with Pete away for a couple of weeks, the championships over these next 2 rounds, some things might be correct, some things might be a little bit incorrect, but you know, we're trying our best to get through it, and hopefully what we're showing you next is as close to being the truth as absolutely possible.
Well, I just want to quote one thing. You can't handle the truth, Jay. Sorry, I just wanted the truth.
How long have you been waiting to say that in some capacity?
Oh, that's the way I talk to my daughter. She gets up out of bed. She's like, did you sleep well? She's like, yeah, that's the truth. I'm like, you can't handle the truth. And I just...
Oh, so with the pros, we have Manuel Saralegui with CLLN Racing leading the way with 334 points. Jaden Scotton and JC Academy Gold, those two putting on a hell of a show last week at the Nürburgring Grand Prix Strecke. Pete Newman keeping up there with 289 points, within touching distance of taking that second spot from Jaden. Daniel Mills, Simon Trendle making up the rest of that top 5 in the championship. Then behind them, Rene Earhart, Stephen Walker, and then yourself and Logan on the 8th and 9th. I do believe there is a slight mistake here, as I think we should have one more driver in here, but so far Manuel leading the way, Jaden, Pete chasing, as well as Daniel and Simon looking to pick up any spare points. Any surprises there in the table so far, or would you consider everything all hunky-dory, as some would say?
Well, you could see that Logan is out of position, but he didn't show up. You could say that I am out of position, but also I only did one race. But to be honest, I would have guessed that Simon Trender would have been a bit higher, although his pace the last couple of seasons hasn't been quite as quick as it used to be, but still always down for the top 4. But I do think that is due to the fact that he is a lightning quick and focusing more on the V8s and the TCRs these days.
Yeah, that's incredibly fair. Absolutely. Onto the Pro-Am standings. As that's come up, that has come up. Look at that, brilliant. It's nice when it actually works sometimes. We'll only be going quickly through the top end of this table at the moment. Quickly go down slightly so we can see a few more of them. But Jamie Wilson is shown as in pole position at the moment, but I do feel that's a slight mistake on our parts, on the admin. So we'll get that sorted by next week. It's absolutely fine. But Tony Walker, Stephen Goebel, and Dietmar are the 3 front runners in the league so far, with Jura Larkin and Daniel Lewis and Derek Crowther just behind. Carl Hardy, who I think will be surging up a few of those positions in due time, is carrying at 8th place, with Demis Chichlar and Tamas Asboff making up the rest of that top 10, with a field of cars behind who are looking to get their seasons kick-started. Today could be the day for that, but for now this remains probably one of the most exciting leagues that BSTV has to offer. And any extra thoughts from yourself on that one, with Tony already trying to get a few points ahead of the rest of the competition?
Yeah, so Tony is always down talking himself. I think he's an amazing driver, so he should definitely never be discounted, especially not in the Pro-Am field. There was some discussion of maybe bumping him to Pro. I think it's a valid point that he hasn't made that move yet, but he's definitely going to be in the ballpark maybe next season or the season after that if he keeps on improving the way he does. Yes. Looking down further at the table, I'm almost surprised to see Dak Cowder and Carl Hardy a little bit further down than I would have liked to see them. But knowing Carl, he's always in for the long run. Even when it doesn't go his way, he always finishes the races. And same for Dak. I think that he is the previous AM winner from like 2 seasons ago. Help me out here. I'm pretty sure he was.
I think a little bit longer than that. I'm not sure, but he was definitely always up there in the AMs. And to be honest, he drives some absolutely fantastic races in Pro-Am and catches a lot of people off guard, I feel. So I can definitely see him challenging amongst the upper echelons if people start making mistakes.
Yeah, and the last one that from the Pro-Am standings is I saw Shimes, help me out here. Shimes, what's his first name? Sean.
Sean
Sean.
Symes, there we go.
Yeah. So he did disappoint me a little bit during the Nürburgring, but maybe it was the conditions. They were really rough, and I think that he's going to be in for a better run and definitely going up that table quite quickly.
Yes, absolutely. On to the AM standings, and it's David Ayres' world, and we're just living in it. A commanding so far 183 points. Behind, separated by 10 points between each other, is Chesney van der Broek, Chris Dixon, and Oliver Payne as well. Literally 10 points between them in their battle for second place. Behind them, Stefan Kolk, who's had a fantastic start to the season, with Mika Santa Helena as well with 149 points. Just behind them, only a stone's throw away, we have Fiona Siddons and Stuart Gibbons from Workguard by Result and Blade Designs respectively. On the rest of that top 10 is Andrew Lister and Darryl Wright, and then we've got a few of the newcomers in the league who are, once again, same with those in the Pro-Ams, are going to be looking to start their seasons today and truly grab bagfuls of points. But so far, David Ayres, Safeguard by Result, in a bit of a commanding league at the moment. However, Chesney, Chris, Mr. Payne and Stefan behind, as well as many others who we know can pick up good points and have been very unfortunate with eliminations in the final round. I think this one could be just as good as the Pro-Ams, and especially as good as the AMS was last season, and give us plenty of entertainment to look forward to.
I completely agree. I can't think of any other words to describe it. I do think that being further down the pack and driving AM, driving Pro AM is actually often more fun than driving the pros. Reason for saying that is that if you want to be, if you're driving the pros, like the margins are so close in. Like if a track suits you, for example, Road America, you like it, and you suddenly attempt quicker, you get the pole position.
Yes.
You're on the track that you kind of despise, and you're not clicking with it, but you're still up there, losing a tenth, you suddenly are eighth. So being in the mid pack, and I'm calling the mid pack starting Pro AM, and not discounting the talent the drivers have, but driving those classes it's a hell of a lot more fun, because sometimes you are completely on top. And even if you're not completely up to speed, you're still able to get into the fights and put down the results without having the pressure of having to perform every week at the top level.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it any better myself, to be honest. On to the team standings at the moment is Team Crime Mirror at the top with 525 points. Bit of deja vu. Last season we had Result X Pure Sims with just their two-person team dominating all. The gap's a little bit closer this time, but Jamie Wilson and Simon Trendle really putting their consistency where it matters and getting an early lead from Result Clothing, consisting of Roger Morton, Pete Newman and Carl Hardy. Cutting Corny TCR team having a fantastic start of the season, up in third place with BSTV Esports in fourth, but don't expect to see him down that low. They will only be on their way up. Hydro Race Racing Forces, the trio of Titular, Lakanen and De Jong on 430 points, with Impact Simsport, a newer team this season with Daniel Mills, Henry Mansell and Trevor Burns in sixth. Blade Designs in seventh with JC Academy following behind them in 8th. And we have Safeguard by Result in 9th with CNL Racing in 10th. CNL Racing, a one-man team, but already looking to break deep into that top 10. Then we'll quickly move on to the driver of the meeting, where at the moment we have Tony Walker, Andrew Littler, both as the only driver so far 1 point, but we will get that updated because we're missing a couple from Nürburgring. I need to very quickly cough up my guts.
So the reason that Jay says cough up his guts, he has the man flu and he's overreacting the whole time. So if he suddenly starts coughing, we'll call him a wuss, and that's it.
Sure. I disagree with that, but I don't think there's really much I can do about that. And then finally, the Sir Alan Safe Driver Award, with no incidents at all between Logan, Roger and Stephen. But once again, I think that's another one that will have to be updated in due time due to, well, we need to wait for our admin to come back, don't we?
Yeah, so I've already spoken to our admin about several things, telling him that he needs to stop trying to do everything by himself. But at least we got the scores almost up to date, which is a thing. We did a thing.
Yeah, I'm still happy with how good we're doing. You know, we are doing acceptable levels, and sometimes that's all you need.
Well, we are doing better than Pete would, but yeah, I mean, we don't say that out loud.
Oh, I got to delete that bit from the broadcast onto the main session, and I found a few little bits and pieces to add to the stream for this bit of qualifying. We now have, just for this session, a lead of, well, a little diagram at the top to show who is in the lead in each category as we go down. I'm very quickly going to get a bit closer to the man who is highest on the track, which is Daniel Mills. Manuel Savalei in the pits, just about to come out actually and get a few more laps done. And tell you what, Carl Hardy, we were just saying, we know what he's capable of, we know how fast he can be, and so far in third place. Just to give people a reminder of how BSTV is set up in terms of our pros, pro-ams and ams. You will see all of our pros with blue number boards on the sides of the car and on the windshields. For pro-ams, it will be like Dietmar has us beautifully modelled here with the a little green number, then finally Chesney Van Bruggen with the yellows. If you see anybody with a yellow number, it means they are a previous season champion. So this would include Pete Newman just in front, and also in this session as well we have Stephen Walker, and I'm pretty sure Simon Trendle is one as well, but I don't think Simon's put a time down just yet. I need to quickly pop off for a minute or so, so Robbie, if you want, would you like to do a little track guide for us?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Fantastic.
I like I'm the OG track guy.
Oh, are you?
I used to do those for GT4 quite a lot.
Oh, fantastic. In that case, I will put you on board with the person who is 18th at the moment, Mr. Daniel Lewis. Would you like the floor?
Yeah, cheers, mate.
No
so
worries.
Going up the straight, getting a really good exit here from Daniel, trying to carry as much speed as you possibly can. There's a way to get over that crest of the hill. You go a little bit to the right, and then you move into the left again because it is slightly less steep. Trying to hurdle down through the first corner. Search for your brake marker. Start braking at the free cone. Move in and shift back to third gear. Some people keep it at fourth. Wash all the way onto the left. Get onto the curb. And now it's all about getting the car stopped for this corner. The late apex getting back to third, but some people get it in second. Get on the throttle, move to the left, don't oversteer because then the wheels start to turn and heat up. And if you keep on doing that during the race, that will cost you in the end. Has a nice little slipstream here, Daniel Lewis, from the car in front of him. Moving down, looking for that marker. It's right after that gravel trap. Turn in late again. It's all about the late apexes. And watch out that log that he got away with that and just hitting the gravel. Coming up the hill, again a 90-degree corner. It's a little bit short here. It kind of looks like he is backing out of this lap. Full throttle when the tires are warm and almost hit the off track, but now he is out. And since Jay stepped away, we are now looking at a Daniel Lewis that hasn't been on track and now sitting still in the pit lane. I can tell you all about how this pit lane has a great story. We used to come here all the way back with, it was Bill Switzer, rest his soul, because he sadly passed away a while back due to a terrible illness. But his car got wrecked so massively that he got the nickname Barbecue Bill. The reason for that is that his car was smoking and the whole pit lane was completely black out and we couldn't see anything anymore, and that's how he got his nickname, Bill Barbecue Switzer.
How on earth did we how did you come back to that story, and what happened?
So Daniel Lewis had an off track and well, he went to the pit, and then, well, basically I just kept filling the void.
Okay, fair enough. Well, bad Daniel, should know better than that, but
we got about two flips off the track, and then he bailed.
you just can't hire staff sometimes, can you?
No, I mean, it's terrible these days, especially during Christmas times. You just deal with the ropes you get.
That's fair. That's fair. Daniel Mills, meanwhile, has taken the lead from Manuel Saralegui. Jaden Scotton with a fantastic third place. Carl Hardy's still up there. 0.453 seconds behind the leader. With
Paul was really quick.
There we go. And Pete Newman overtaking him, throwing him to the side with 0.366 as Carl jumps into the pit lane. Fantastic manoeuvring just there. And I think we're actually towards the end of the session, which is that was a lot quicker than I thought it was.
It definitely, time goes by on this track so quickly just because of the fact that it's so long. So we are here, and the pole position went to Daniel Mills on first, top notch here. Good driving from him. Manuel Saralegui close to him, and he needs to be because of his championship. Jaden Scotton, again, a good outing, third position. Pete Newman on fourth. And Carl Hardy, amazing qualification for him on fifth. He was quick all week. Stephen Walker on 6th and Rene Earhart coming down on 7th. 8th is Thomas Asboth and Jamie Wilson is 9th. Rounding up the top 10, the second Pro AM driver Tony Walker. Behind him, Dak Cowder, and 12th is Stefan Goebel. 15th, wait, I'm missing, thank you. 13th is Simon Trendle. Dietmar Hoos is 14th, and Thomas Danbridge, who is actually a new driver. Danbridge, excuse me, is actually a new driver for us and starting on 15th. A good start for him. Jura Leikonen on 16th and Stuart Gibbons 17th. Starting 18th is Henry Manel. In 19th is Daniel Lewis. Right behind him and next to him is Demis Titular, and 21st is Fraser Garethy. Alt Payne is 22nd and Chesney van der Broeke starts 23rd. Paul Hurley starts 24th. Stuart Gibson, by the way, got the pole position for AM. 24th, we had 25th is Roger Martin, who's back, and 26th is David Ayers, the current leader of the AM pack. Ronald de Jong is 27th, and Stefan Klauka is 28th. And 29th is Geoff Sanders, Andrew Littler 30th. 31st is Chris Dixon, and 32nd Fiona Siddons. Mika Santa Helena rounding up the grid on 33rd. Man, that is a long grid. I am honestly looking forward to the first corner. We said in the chat, we had several warnings that we wanted to be safe through that one. Previous seasons, we had a couple of incidents where we had to throw a safety car, and we definitely don't want to see that. People are flashing the lights, and I love it because Pete isn't here. Lights are red, and we are green. The whole grid grabs away. I think that Stephen Walker or Tony Walker broke down a little bit further back. Daniel Mills instantly got away. Manuel Saralegui gets into his toe. We are 3 wide, 4 cars further back. Daniel is holding the inside. Manuel is thinking about a move. He is on the outside. Is this gonna be tears? No, they make it through. Further back, we don't see any incidents just yet. Carl Hardy got a black flag on the outside here. Manuel Saralegui overtaking Daniel Mills in the sprint race. What a move on the outside of turn 3 or turn 2, whatever you want to call it, depending on the American numbers. Everyone went through completely clean. All our warnings and all our prayers have been heard, Jade. Daniel Mills, Jaden Scotton is pushing him forward. Is he thinking about making a move on the inside? But Pete Newman on the inside here, thinking about making it 3 wide, but decides to back out. Daniel still on the outside. Jaden Scotton getting a little tap there from that curve, which unsettled the car. Is now Pete in the possibility to get past him? No, he is not, and tucks back in right behind Pete Newman. You see Carl Hardy, he kept his 5th position, but we can see on the left-hand side in the timing tower that he has a false start again. Are you still alive, Jay? I think Jay just died. So we'll keep on going.
I was muted. I was just saying I still have fingernails left, so we're doing okay for now. But yeah, absolutely fantastic start. Nice and clean, and I don't think we could ask for anything better for the starter of Road America. Fantastic battling from Manuel and Daniel to begin us off. Carl Hardy with a very unlucky jump start there, so his fantastic qualifying is all in vain. We've got Stuart Gibbons up in 15th place, leading the Amway, and wow, yeah, everything's looking absolutely fantastic so far. No crashes that I really have to go back on. There's been a couple of off tracks, but everyone has pretty much come back on almost straight away.
I think that we can say that we definitely are proud daddies tonight.
Yes, proud, bald baddies and daddies.
So I wanted to point out, I saw a couple of things in the chat. Fiona telling me not to swear. Well, Pete's not here, Fiona, so fuck you. We have T saying sub. Well, T is obviously, well, we know he's a nephew of Pete Pangul, and he's 17. I think that Alan even paid for his subscription. Correct me if I'm wrong, T, but subscription, the league. So we'd love to have you here. This has been an amazing opening from the start. I think that Roger Morton just had a small incident because I see him dropping down the order, but I assume it's just an off track because he seems to have kept the car running.
Yeah, a lot of off tracks at the moment. I can actually quickly jump off to the last one that was done, but I'm pretty sure it's just going a little bit wide on an exit here. This is just on the exit of the carousel, side by side with Fraser, and this is too wide into the kink, into the early laps, which is kind of bad for your health, but it looks like Roger Morton just hooking that inside, cutting the inside of the kink, and unless there's been a slowdown or something, then not really much to report on that one.
Honest to God, I think that this is the cleanest start we ever had on Road America. Maybe our warnings have been heard, maybe our prayers or the prayers of the drivers have been heard, but this is the way we want to see the driving of Road America in the opening laps. No incidents, and now it's just all about the racing.
Yeah, there's still loads of pockets of battling up and down the grid. We'll try and get through as many of those as we can for you, from the front all the way to the back, where at the moment the amount of kitty litter that's getting thrown at the back, you'd think that there was a load of old crazy cat ladies on the track right now, as we've got Santa Helena making their way through the work guard result team. And this is one of the great things about this league, is I'm just going to quickly take a camera onto here as David Ayres side by side with Fiona Simmons, and there's been a big crash.
I see 4 cars fighting it. I think that's Stefan. Go on now. It's not Stefan. Another Stefan. Cloaker.
Stefan and Henry both not where you want to be at the end of the kink. We'll get to what happened on that instant. Surely the race will go on, and that was a massive crash there, Robbie, and we've got to be very lucky and fortunate that that didn't happen further up the grid, where more cars could have been caught as collateral.
Well, compliments to the drivers that missed him, because I think that 4 cars still had to get through them, and they did. Stefan Klauke also got through, but then clipped the grass on the left-hand side and lost control of his car. An unfortunate passenger there, and a fortunate victim. We'll let the judge decide on that.
And yeah, it's usually how a lot of the incidents at the kink start.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then they all got through clean, but it's just Stefan Klauke just being a little bit unlucky on his response and hitting the grass.
Yeah, the car just goes so weightless at that part of the track sometimes that you've really got you really got no option but to try and wrestle the car, and a lot of the times it just doesn't work out. Yes, we do. I've just seen that Daniel Mills has lost a couple of positions. That's absolutely fine. I was very ready to jump onto that one. Daniel Mills falling a little bit further back, but yes, sometimes through that kink, I don't think that's going to be the only incident that we see there this afternoon. Right, so Daniel Lewis going off the track at some point. I'm just having a quick look where this happened. That's Daniel. Oh, it's Daniel Lewis, so I got the wrong one.
So I think what happened was that Daniel made a move on Manuel Saradegi, and then it somehow spiraled out of control.
Yes. Got it just here. Sorry about that.
So this is the move we are talking about. We see Daniel Mills here. He's probably going to dive down the inside at a late time. Suddenly gets into the gap, just overshoots, just gambled it, and threw that one away. But he got back on track, and all the drivers are reacting. I see Simon Trendle here making a really good move, trying to avoid Daniel. I think it was an all-or-nothing attempt, because Daniel realized that Manuel has really good pace, and he just went for it.
Yes, and speaking of Simon Trendle, behind his teammate Jamie Wilson at the moment, we've got a lot of close cars battling away here as Kyle Hardley finally jumps into the pits to serve the penalty they got for jumping the start, deciding once they've got faster cars in front of them, keep amongst them, bridge the gap between them and everybody else on the grid, and might work in Carl's favour if he can get through that pit straight and quick enough to not lose too many positions. But it's a very long pit lane at Road America, so I do feel that Carl's going to find himself definitely in the 30s.
Yeah, definitely, and it's not even the worst case scenario for him. It's a bit unlucky that the pit lane is this long, so it takes quite a long time. He now served his penalty. I think that was the best way to do it, is drive as long as you possibly can and try to stay in front of the pack, but he has been shuffled all the way back behind, not Stefan Klauke, but behind Andrew Littler, and is now holding 32nd position. He might be able to get up like 5 or 6 positions, but that is his night done, I think.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. Just an absolutely fantastic qualifying session, exactly what he needed in the start of this championship. As we've got another crash that we're going to be approaching very, very soon. You can see smoke already that Carl can see here, and it's Ronald de Jong onto the sides as Carl manages to gain 1 extra place. We'll see what happens with that one now. And it looks like it could be another overshoot, and maybe Ronald's just decided to stop rather than initiate an unsafe rejoin, and he's got 2 from Insignia. And was there a gap there, do you think?
I think what happened there, so I did a couple of challenge races for the GT3, not the GT3, but the Ferrari thing, the new one. So I did those. I had the same situation where I saw the car coming in, and I just was on my other account, so I just stayed out of it. It's the thing of realizing what is going on. It's definitely not his fault, but you can tell by the way he was approaching that corner, he was always bound to hit you if you turn in at that spot. That doesn't mean, again, that it's your fault. It's not. It's not the fault of the car that's turning in. By the way, great avoiding action there.
Absolutely.
On the outside, yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely, again, I'm not pointing fingers. It's not the fault of the car turning in, but it is the fact that you have to be wary of the positioning of your car, and you are able to avoid that situation. But there was no gap. That's my point.
Yeah, and Ronald, another one as well, who was probably looking at getting quite a few points tonight. But it's going to be a challenging race too for him as we go further up the pack, back to the Team Primera. It seems, no, even if it's me doing the cameras, even if it's Pete doing the cameras, these two, this team are just constantly getting our attentions all the way. And let's be honest, it is still an absolutely fantastic livery, one of the best ones on the grid for sure.
Well, they do pay us to get them a lot of airtime.
Do they?
I mean, well, they do pay me.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Pete pays me and everybody pays me. I mean, getting money shuffled to make sure that I catch everything. And as usual, I don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
You know what?
Tony's in a bad fight behind this camera as well.
Yep, just quickly seeing this one, which nearly resulted in a move between the Insignia Motorsports, but nothing came of it. So we will quickly jump over to Tony.
So Tony was defending hard on Stefan Goebel there, who tried to make a move in turn 6, going uphill, going under the bridge and going uphill to the left on the 90 degree. I don't know what the corner name is, to be honest. What is that called again? So this is Carousel.
Yep, we're coming up to a corner that none of us shame, the kink.
So I'm looking at the chat. So Tisa, I don't think I saw you on the grid. Is there a reason you're not racing tonight? Just let us know in the chat. We would love to have you on track.
Just quickly moving over to here because Jaden, just like shades of Nürburgring right now, where he's closing in. Jaden Scotton is closing in on Manuel Saraleghi. I know this is a very draft-heavy track, which is why we have the top 7 within 1.2 seconds, but. Well, sorry, it's not 1.2 seconds, but within seconds of each other. I think we could be about to be treated to an overtaking opportunity here, because Jaden is getting closer and closer and closer, and Pete's doing exactly the same with Jaden as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a draft-heavy track, and you might even think that it would be beneficial at a certain point during the feature race not to lead the pack. That's why the choice I kind of usually make. If you're able to get a good position on the reverse grid and get like a couple of positions in the first 2 rounds, and it's all about sticking with the draft. Jaden is definitely pushing Manuel towards the upper end of defending, although I still think, and I'll be honest, I still think that Jaden needs to learn to control his tires, but he is now in the sprint race. It doesn't really matter. It's all or nothing in these 20 minutes, and there's only 7 minutes remaining for him to get the job done.
Well, fantastic. Oh, hang on. Emmanuel Savalegi having not the best of exits, but he did defend that corner tight, and Pete Newman showing experience, sees the gaps, throws it in. Jaden's going to have the advantage of the inside for this next corner. Might even be able to close that gap, and he does. Is Pete Newman going to have another bite at the cherry? He's getting himself ready just in case Jaden doesn't fully commit to the corner, and this has allowed Manuel some much needed breathing time, but because of the battling, it's allowed many others behind to get a little piece of the action potentially as well.
Yeah, very smart racing there from Pete Newman. He realized there was a small gap opening up after that move. Stuck his nose in, but Jaden Scotton defending that lovely and being very, very good on the braking there, while giving Pete no chance to get the undercut done and set it on the inside.
Elsewhere on the grid at the moment, got Jamie Wilson still so tight up to Simon Trendle right now. I foreshadow a lot of bump drafting here just to get Tamas Asboff away from them, but also Jamie might consider Simon a little bit quicker, so any little push that he can give him, especially on the long straights, which, as we all know, that the Audis are powerhouses on the straight lines. All Simon has to do is just get within, what would you say, about 1.2 seconds within the car in front to get the tiniest bit of slipstream.
So the tiniest bit of slipstream starts at 1.6.
1.6?
Yeah, it's 1.6. It's 1.625 or something. But it's so barely noticeable that you don't really gain anything from it. Getting in within 1.2 seconds is the moment when you start to win about 0.5 seconds on the straight here. But once you're within 1.1, you can definitely feel that you're getting pulled towards the back end of that car.
And so every day.
So good.
Don't
ask why I know the specific number, because it took way too long to notice. What the hell is going on there?
Oh, that's a big hardware issue. That I don't know if you saw that. The wheel just snapped into a corner there, and I think that's Chesney with hardware issue going back to the pits.
That looks like a Fanatec wheel.
Hey, now.
No, I'm not kidding. This is what Fanatec does. Like, the driver does weird things. I had Fanatec in the past.
Just watch that wheel.
Snap to the left, right? It's what it does because it goes to the default. Yeah, this is what Fanatec does. So let's ask Chesney if he has a Fanatec. I'm pretty sure it's a Fanatec.
Well, it's
he drives Mota, by the way. I instantly got updates. Well, it's definitely a Mota wheel. That's what I said.
So I'm actually having problems with my Fanatec wheel at the moment, to the point I've had to get one of these little metal fasteners to try and strengthen the grip of the QR2. I'm not racing again for the rest of the year, but Daytona week the wheel will be coming back out, and we'll see how it gets on there. And just watching as Mr. Payne is also falling down the order slightly. Looks like they're going off the track. Let's have a quick look what happened there. Looks like it was a battle with Mika Santa Helena for that one.
On the inside here, hitting the curb quite hard, and then side by side with Payne, I think.
Yeah,
it is Payne. And on the outside, on the moving on the braking, they are going through the first kink. I don't think it's the first kink, but they settle it out before the corner.
Does look like Payne does go off the track at some point. I'm trying to find where it happened. It looks like it was just here, because it was enough for him to lose a couple of places. And I don't think we're going to find our answer on that one then, by the looks of it, unless something happens here. A bit wide and goes off.
It's so easy to do in that corner as well. I think that all the corners are quite doable and quite manageable on this track, but this one, getting it perfectly and getting it in a way that you still have exit speed and you don't brake too early. It's definitely the toughest corner out there.
Yeah, it's the I do find throw as much speed as you can into the apex and try and let the car do the rest of the work, but you got to hope that that car's on your good side that day as well. There's still plenty of cars within seconds of each other all over the grid. Good thing about Road America, because of the amount of slipstream it does offer you, it allows a couple of groups to get to know each other, and I did think Simon Trendle was going to go a little bit wide there, but Jamie is defending the back of him ferociously from Tamas.
So they never work together until it's definitely one of the last options they have. That was a car going very, very wide. That was St. Paul Hurley. No, it's Jeff Saunders going very wide in the back when we switch the camera. But we know that Jamie and Simon have a rivalry. They like each other. They know each other in real life. They hang out with each other. They go to races. But there's definitely a rivalry there, and especially when now Jamie's gotten up to par in the TCRs with Simon.
We're watching at the moment Paul Hurley, Jeff Saunders and Roger Morton. It looked like it was one of the work car cars which was going wide in the background at the bottom of the hill, and these three have been swapping positions all around the race. It looks like Jeff having a quick look through the kink, but what Jeff needs to do here is keep it nice and planted, use the slipstream that's going to be available, and we'll see if there's going to be enough momentum as Jeff slowly catching up to Paul here, but he has to watch out for Roger Morton behind. Ain't even going to get a move in, and it looks like Morton throwing the car in. And look at that, fantastic pass, said. Oh, Jeff nearly taking the back panel, but like you said right at the start of the broadcast, there's so many areas of Road America where you're going to end up going too wide on. It's like a constant battle going on, and we are on the final lap of the race, and it looks like we've got ourselves a nice teammate battle. Literally, you have willed this into existence, Wobbly. Both of Team Chimera are both fighting with each other at the moment, but we also have one last gasp opportunity for these three to try and somehow get past the entity that is Manuel Saralegui.
He's doing an amazing job holding them off. Daniel Mills after his slight mistake. I see a car. Oh, it's a car going backways. Is it René Earhart? There's a car backways on the straight.
It is, you're absolutely right. It's Red A. We'll quickly go back to those at the front.
So we watch that. We're going to review that after the racing is done here. Side by side action here. Daniel on the inside, also getting sideways. All the action is coming at once. Is he able to keep it off the wall? I think he smacked into it. That is probably his suspension gone. That looks like the same suspension issue we had earlier in Nürburgring, but he keeps on going, I think. He's not grabbing yet.
No, it looks like he is going on, but the kink might be a bit of a test if there is any damage. Meanwhile, Roger Morton as well, losing a couple of positions. We have a lot to watch right at the end of this session. That's for sure.
So we're going to go into the replays after this session, after we go through the standings, so we have a more nice intermediate for that. Looking at the front, I think that Manuel Saralegui, due to those issues behind him, has now sealed the deal and is able to drive this home. This is Tony Walker going through the kink, still getting pressured by Stefan Goebel, who's been haunting him from the start.
Could be a chance for a late dive here, but I think Stefan Goebel is going to think a little more wisely of it.
Stefan Goebel is one of the smartest drivers we have. I think I was in one or two incidents with him in all these years. One of them was to blame myself, where I hit him a little bit, and it was definitely on me. But so at the front of the field, there Manuel Saralegui reeling it in right behind him. Pete Newman out of the box, and Jaden Scotton right behind him. So those three came in perfectly. Winner of the Pro AMs is Dak Cowder. Also had a really good outing, but Stuart Gibbons, 12th position for an AM driver between all those Pro AM drivers, has a blasting result and is now back into the championship battle.
Yeah, just watching what's going on here, because of that Audi going up the hill can sometimes nick you a position right at death. But yes, fantastic drive from Stuart Gibbons, 12th place, which makes him the only AM driver who's going to be involved in the reverse grid. So could be talking to Stuart towards the end as a double race winner at Road America. Still a couple more cars to go over the grid as we watch Daniel Lewis slowly making his way through, down 10 positions. But yes, let's see if I can quickly get what happened with Rene, because that was, I don't know if he was avoiding somebody there or...
So I think that there was some draft business going on, some weird things. So I assume there's a car on his right here, and he gets speared off. He gets T-boned. Yeah. That was with Stephen Walker, not Tony Walker.
Oh, okay.
They were next to each other the whole time, or at least near each other the whole time. But it was definitely Stephen Walker. Let's review that one again.
Yes.
So we have Stephen right behind him. He moves to the right next to him. And Rene, and oh, it looks like a little bit of netcode, if I'll be honest. It was close, but...
It was close, and maybe a little bit more room could have been afforded there. It didn't look like Rene was moving really much off his line either, so I don't know if Stephen was going for some sort of side drafting technique to try and slow Rene down into that corner. Rene definitely had the inside line there. Stephen was definitely going for the outside there, so maybe could have probably been a could have been something avoided there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what Steven was trying to do is trying to get his car alongside him and holding him on the left-hand side, which is his fair right to do. But it looks like it would have been fine, but I do think there was some netcode involved. It's a risk they both took. Rene could have gone left a little bit. Steven could have gone right a little bit. Well, definitely not a thing we would like to see calling on the radio. I can tell that Stephen is really apologetic and thinking that he went in a straight line, although this was definitely not his intention. So I hope that is resolved. So going through the standings, and after that, if we're able to, Jay, maybe we can see the Daniel Mills incident to rewatch that. So Manuel Serralegi coming in on first position for the pro drivers. Fought off Jaden Scott and fought off Pete Newen, past Daniel Mills in the second corner. So he did a blasting job getting that result in. Pete Newman coming in second, capitalizing on the incident in front of him, and Jaden Scott in third, who also has a really good outing again. Stephen Walker had to kill Rene Earhart to get to fourth position, and fifth is Simon Trendle.
Oh, he's going to hate you for that one.
Jamie Ross and his teammate right behind him. So somehow we missed that. Jamie got overtaken by Simon. Oh no, no. This was the way it was. Sorry, scratch that. Thomas Asbach, who was right behind the Camara boys, turned in seventh. Daniel Mills, who got into an incident on the last lap, now ended up eighth. Dak Cowder, winner of the Pro AM, ninth, and Tony Walker second. So he did a really good job for his championship. You are right, Jay. 11th was Stefan Gobo, who was in a fight with Tony, and Stuart Gibbons won the AM race, coming in 12th. Jura Leikonen is 13th, and our newcomer, Thomas Danbridge. Thomas Dan. You're now called Thomas Dan. Thomas Dan is now 14th. It's always tough to find a league, and if you're in a league which has the amount of drivers we have, it's always hard to get your position in it. But he didn't get into an incident and put down a blasting result for his first race. Dietmar Heus 15th, and Demis Tichelar coming in 16th. 17th is Fraser Garthy, and 18th was Paul Hurley. 19th, Roger Morton and Job Saunders rounding up that top 10 in 20th. Carl Hardy fought his way back to 21st after having a jump start and a drive-through. David Ayres, current leader of the AM Championship, still managed to seal down the deal with a third position for that. Mika Santa Helena coming in 23rd. 24th, Art Payne and Chris Dixon right behind him in 25th position. Andrew Littner, 26th, good outing for him, and right behind him, the teammate Fiona Siddons. Ronald de Jong on 28th. On 29th is Daniel Lewis, not to be mistaken with Daniel Mills, Jay, just a reminder for you.
Yeah.
Rene Earhart, the person that got murdered by Stephen Walker in 30th because he had to reset the car. Henry Mantel, 31st and 32nd. Stefan Klauke. Chesney van der Broeke, who decided to buy cheap-ass rigs, so cheap-ass force feedback stuff from Moza, got his USB cable unplugged. I'm kidding, Chesney, but I'm not. Well, I am.
Well,
Maybe.
he can't hear you anyway because he's on track, crying into his wheelbase, his VR. Hurtful comments there, probably, but you know, it's what we've come to expect from you by now.
I mean, I'm not saying half of it, mate.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. But it's good to see Chesney jumping straight back into the session, looking to make amends. It's going to be an interesting last to first challenge, but one thing's for sure, he's getting his camping gear sorted because I'm pretty sure his fiancée is going to lock him out the house for this despicable act of buying cheap, nasty gear, in your words.
Well, nasty isn't the word I would describe. I would say, I would swear, but I promised Fiona not to swear, so it'd be nasty fucking shit. Hardware.
I need to get so much better at that.
We gotta get demonetized, like we are anyway, so. Pure off, people. Pure off, people.
Unbelievable. But this does mean that our grid with the reverse 15 is going to be extremely interesting, with all 3 championships going to be in there. Any bold predictions?
Well, bold predictions. I think that's a good question. I do think that we need to do the grid set. So let's go through the field first because it's such a long list. So reverse pole position is Dietmar Hoos. Really good job for him, so putting it on 15th, and now having the punishment of starting on pole. Thomas Danrich in his first race for our second round, starting second. So that is a couple of seconds right there. Jura Leikonen on 3rd and 4th. Stuart Gibbons, AM driver, on 4th. Amazing good job on him. Stefan Goebel, a long time coming back runner, a long time runner for the BSTV leagues, is on 5th, and Tony Walker 6th. Dak Cowder on 7th. Daniel Mills, he has the advantage now, starting on 8th, so he was gonna try to cut through those Pro EM drivers as quickly as he can. Thomas Osbach on 9th. Jamie Wilson and his teammate on 10th and 11th. 12th is Stephen Walker, my teammate and the murderer. 13th is Jaden Scotton. 14th is Pete Newman and Manuel Serradegui, who won the previous sprint races. 15th. Demis Titular, he loves it when I pronounce his name like that, is 16th. And Fraser Dorothy is 17th. Paul Hurley starting on 18th, had a good outing there as well. Roger Martin on 19th, was AFK last week. At 20th, Jeff Saunders. Carl Hardy has his punishment was a drive-through and now starting on the 21st position after a recovery run. David Ayres, current leader of the AM, is 22nd. Mika Santa Helena right behind him on 23rd, and Art Payne is next to Mika on 24th. 25th is Chris Dixon, and 26th is Andrew Littler. Fiona Siddons, his teammate, is right behind him. Ronald de Jong, 28th, and Daniel Lewis is 29th. Rene Earhart, who got spun around by Stephen Walker. I'm going to repeat this all night. Stephen is the murderer of the night, is starting 30th, and 23rd is Henry Mantel, and Stefan Klauke is 32nd. And rounding up the grid because of the less expensive gears, hardware, it's just the von der Broek.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Like we planned this. Lights are out and we are go. We have a terrible camera shot, but I blame our cameraman for this. Out in front, Dietmar Hoos has a good start. Stuart Gibbons already overtook Gerald Lycon and is now on the outside. We hope that we are getting the clean shot we want. We see a little bit of bump drafting further back between Daniel Mills, and I think that he forced Thomas Danrich past him. We go side by side, and it seems to be all clean as a whistle again. Amazing driven by all the drivers. Here's, go ahead, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. Everyone got through nice and... Oh, now I can't even talk now, but just like race number 1, race number 2, the feature of today's event at Road America, without a hitch so far. Dietmar Hoos in the lead as Eurolaken and Stephen Gibbons swapping positions coming into the downhill left. And there's a lot of people taking various lines through this corner, 2 wide, 3 wide, but so far so good. Everyone is still keeping it really nicely clean. I'm impressed.
I think that is the best start again we ever had. We had 0 incidents. We do see Daniel Lewis getting down the order, but now, oh, is it Chris Dixon? I think Chris Dixon went off track. Daniel Lewis had a slight incident, but there's a lot of switching around, and I think this run of the young Hal has a repair job for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of people going off the track, so I do wonder if this crash that I'm about to show now is a case of everybody just dashing off the course to try and dodge what's going on. It's just, wow, a lot and back and forth. Oh man, that is rough.
Stefan Klauke now just squeezing through, where earlier he got hit, he got a slight tap there, but I think his car is fighting. Oh, that is bad luck there for Rene again. A car spearing back on the track and hitting him, and
that's Chesney.
Luckily.
Oh my goodness, Chesney is going to be sleeping. Is going to be sleeping rough for the next few nights by the looks of it. That's so unfortunate to see, but wow.
I blame the hardware.
If you say so.
Coming back to the front of the pack, then Dietmar, who's had a really good job getting it off the line and keeping in front of the rest. Juha Laikonen past Stuart Gibbons again, who briefly was second. Now the fight for the top position is on. Juha is pressuring Dietmar, and there's Stefan Goebel getting murdered by somebody. We see a lot of murders currently.
There's a lot going on, and it's Daniel Mills going back a couple of positions again. Daniel Mills actually losing his front end. Wow.
Daniel Mills is one of the... he's been unlucky
I was about to say, such an unlucky set of races already. I'm hoping that he can sit behind somebody a bit quicker and maybe get his way through this race, but it's, as people are saying in the chat, just too many cars aiming for the one spot, and you could have the best drivers on the planet sometimes, but none of them are going to be mind readers. So imagine when it's onto leagues in iRacing where, yeah, it's an absolute catastrophe for a lot of the grid already, but hopefully it only gets better from here. And I'll tell you who is having a fantastic time at the front, that's Stuart Gibbons. I was really hoping that wasn't going to be a case of commentator's curse just there with an Audi right on his rear bumper, but as things stand, has kept the 4th position that he started in, is currently fighting off the Jamie Wilson Pro, and still keeping within a slingshot distance of the 3 cars in front. So if they end up messing up, Stuart Gibbons is going to be there to take whatever positions, and this is going to be absolutely fantastic for his AM Championship. Some movement going on behind between Tony Walker and Simon Trendle, which is going straight into Canada corner. I think that Tony Walker has been overtaken, and it looks like Jaden's getting in on the action as well. Jaden Scotton seeing that gap open. Tony Walker's going to have the advantage of this corner, but not the outside to run onto, which means Jaden gets a nice little speed boost there. He's going to take the inside here, and Tony Walker absolutely mugged.
His car looks a little bit bent up at the front of Tony, so he's definitely going to lose some slight top speed. Now the choice for Daniel Mills is he able to keep up with the pace currently, or is he going to take that fast repair, because his car looks absolutely battered. Maybe the best choice is to, if you're able to keep up a little bit, wait for the earliest possible window to get the pit stop done. This is Tony Walker on the inside here of not Manuel. Sorry, wait, who's that?
Thomas.
Thomas, thank you.
Manuel's in the red.
And it's, you know, I'm completely colorblind, right?
I do know.
I can't see anything. I see about 2 or 3 colors, so that's about it. So it's kind of hard to distinguish sometimes.
You learn something new every day, evidently. Still more... Tony Walker nearly taking out the back end of Jaden Scotton. And then there's more even going on behind.
Stephen Walker going wide. He's turning off the racing line. Is he parking it? No, he's not parking it. But he definitely got involved to an incident. Jamie Wilson meanwhile, is having a blast. He passed Stuart Gibbons and is now hunting down Thomas Danridge, who's having a great outing for his first race.
There is so much going on up and down the grid at the moment. We will get replaced to you very, very shortly. There's been crashes, there's been more going off the track, and a lot of positions gained and lost in the last half of the lap. We're going to go back a couple of cars now. It's Kyle Hardy and Paul Hurley, both fighting it out, both against each other in various leagues across iRacing land. Coming up to the kink now, and it's going to be up to Paul Hurley to try and get a really good line out of it. Who is going to be unafraid of keeping their foot down to the floor? But now behind Paul Hurley you have David Ayres, who's going to be fighting for those spots. I can hear so many cars in front on Calendar Corners exit, using as much of that curbing as possible. We're going to quickly jump out back to Henry Mantle at the moment, the last crash I saw. And it looks like maybe Henry Mantle, it's the kink. And we've seen this lots of times. In fact, didn't Henry do this last race?
Sorry?
Didn't Henry crash their last race?
I can't really remember. I know that Stephen Walker and... Oh, no, is that true? We went back when I was driving for Impulse. I got into... what's the guy called again? Help me out. The Portuguese guy.
Manuel? Miguel?
Miguel. Me and Miguel, I got murdered by him in the similar manner.
You like using that word. Like, we're so going to get demonetized after this one.
We are demonetized, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Murder.
Thomas Dandridge as well, another person having fantastic start to life in BSTV. Only down 2 positions, but as a Pro-Am, you want to be keeping into that top 5 for as long as you can into race 2, and so far doing an absolutely fantastic job. It does have Jamie Wilson in front and Simon Trendle behind, so it finds himself in a Primera team sandwich right now without Source, but doing a fantastic job so far.
I think that Stuart Gibbons is doing a very smart game. He's playing a very smart game here. He is realizing that he's not able to cope with all the pressure around him, and he's just driving in a way that he is going to be safe and trying to get that win in after his very good result in the first race, on the sprint race. You see he's dropping down a little bit to 8th position, and I would assume that he's going to get dropped to 13th-ish or so. But again, he's driving in the AM class. There's a lot of points on the table for him if he managed to keep this position.
And speaking of keeping positions, Santa Helena could be struggling quite a lot here, with Daniel Lewis just behind. Daniel Lewis 2 seasons ago absolutely running rampant in the AM category and getting some really good positions in Pro-Ams. A bit of a very unfortunate first race for him, but he is slowly making himself up the grid. If he can get past Santa Helena, that will be him up 7 places so far, which is a fair bit, but not as good as this man just here, Manuel Saralegui, who already, you know, through reputation through BSTV, extremely fast driver, extremely consistent, and at the moment just trying his hardest to get back to where the pack is battling at the front, but could be doing a little bit of fuel saving as well. Wobbly, for yourself, if you were fuel saving on this track, how easy would you find it?
Super easy. Like, there are very, like, the first braking zone is you can basically start rolling. On the left hand side you have this marshal post. You start rolling from there. You start rolling from, well, basically halfway from the bridge, 200 meters after this bridge on the straight. You start rolling. You just lift off the throttle. You hold down the clutch just to keep up a little bit of speed, so you're not being a nuisance to other people. I even instructed Stephen Walker in a tactic. I don't know if he's going to follow it, but there's a way to fuel save here, where you just roll through neutral, the whole carousel, and then you're able to get 2 extra laps out of it.
That does sound pretty simple, actually, yeah. Especially with these lot in their draft groups as well. Always got somebody who could catch up on the straight. It's seen a position change potentially behind us. Jaden taking the outside. Does have to watch out on the inside, as Manuel Saralegui also looking to carve through the same oppositions that Jaden is at the moment. I've seen Rene jumping into the pits with a meatball. I can't seem to find any instant where that happened. So
there was the incident with where all the cars got
All the way back there. Oh, of course it would have been, yes. So
Yes.
obviously there probably wasn't enough damage for Rene to really need to pitch straight away, but the rules, I think, state 3 laps and then you've got to come in for your repair or something along those lines.
It's definitely 3 laps, and looking at how long the laps are, they are 2 minutes plus, which means that it takes about 8 minutes, about 8 minutes before getting back, because it happened halfway on the track. And that's the reason why he just got in, because the incident already happened in lap 2. So now we are on lap 5 and closing to lap 6, which means that he now had to serve it.
We're seeing a battle in the background just here between Jeff and Santa Helena. Jeff letting them both through. Jeff, who has nearly succeeded in the campaign to get this Allen Safe Driver Award renamed to the Jeff Trophy. We'll keep backing him away, keeping it to Sir Allen, but deciding to let Santa Helena go through, perhaps seeing him as potentially being a bit quicker and can just tag along for the ride. Currently watching Daniel Lewis making another position, up 8 so far, with a bit more battling going on further ahead. An interesting one, this. So pro drivers, pro AM drivers, AMS drivers, all together, living together in almost perfect harmony.
The thing is with Daniel Mills, he's been super unfortunate, and you can definitely tell that he's lacking the top speed currently. He's falling back slightly from the pack in front of him. Stephen Walker passed him 2 laps ago, and he's still there trying to fight a little bit, but his front is basically non-existent. He is still fierce and fighty there. Nothing. I mean, again, he has been on a streak of bad luck. Like previous race, he had an incident as well. But then again, he is now still out there. And I think the first possible pit opportunity is probably going to be lap 8, I think.
I was just
Maybe
thinking we might be looking at very soon. We're currently 13 minutes into the race. It is a reduced 30% fuel tank for these TCRs.
Yes.
So you'd have to be the most incredible person at fuel saving in history if you're going to be able to get through a 40-minute race without pitting. It has been done, but
I tried it.
How close did you get?
So I tried this once on Road of America, because I think it was like 4 seasons ago, but back then, it's 30%. So I tried this. I did it with Sam Blees, a previous champion as well, and we were just having fun, because back then the field wasn't that strong as it was now, and we made it, but it meant that that we were driving laps of 225 per minute per lap, so it was completely ridiculous. I wouldn't recommend it. The cutoff basically was, I think, was 35 liters. When you with 45 liters, it was quite easily done, but with 30 liters, it got super weird.
Nice. I've personally never been able to even think about fuel saving to that level before. If I can get an extra half full lap, then I'll be pretty happy with that. But at the same time, I'm there to race, so fuel saving usually comes secondary unless I feel that it's a pretty winnable race.
Wait, are you suggesting that you're never fuel saving in the beginning?
I don't give away my tactics just in case we meet each other on the track again one day, but possibly.
You're not going to be 20 positions behind me anyway, so what's that? I mean, that's the first thing I do in the feature race.
Right, you're getting taken out next race. I don't even care.
Well, you just said that you're not going to race until the New Year, so it's fine. We're not going to be the same split.
You can really go off some people really quickly. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Currently battling behind the group we were just watching though. Tony Walker looking at making a move on Pete Newman. Going in all ballsy, but I think Pete Newman's going to keep that place going, and he does, carrying on with his day. But Tony Walker is not a slow individual. He will most likely keep up with Pete and continue his crusade across the top of Pro-Ams. We'll go quickly jump over to see how the leaders are getting on. We've got Jura Laakkonen in the lead from this young Jamie Wilson here. Simon Trendle, Team Chimera right behind. Team Chimera as a team right now doing absolutely fantastically. If they can keep this up till the end, then they will stretch their position at the top of the Teams Championship even further. But do not discount Jaden Scotton looking to put a spanner in the works. He gets alongside Simon Trendle. He makes a dive in, and what a pass from Jaden Scotton just there.
So I do think that there was some fuel saving involved there. Yes, Jaden did an amazing job, but Simon didn't really fault that one. And looking at the way I know Simon, I've driven against him many times, and there was definitely fuel saving involved. Not fighting that one too hard.
Please do not talk down the efforts of my team. Thank you very much, young wobbly kneecaps.
No, I'm definitely not doing that, because the way that Jaden got past him was clean as a whistle. But I do want to point out that I'm surprised by Jura Leikkonen's pace, because he's still with a second in front of those guys behind him who have his toe.
Yeah, what I find about Jura is when he finds a track that he's comfortable with, he is an extremely fast individual. And that's definitely going to be on show today. I mean, he's at a full second in front of Jamie Wilson. I know there's battling going on.
That track?
Say that again?
Have you ever found a track like that?
Well, sometimes. I find, even though I absolutely hate it to death, Magni Core is a particular strength, or Magnus Core, or Magma Core, whatever you want to call it. Also, I'd probably say Brands Hatch, where I could just sit there, run laps, it's consistent, it's quick, and I can just lock in so easily there.
Because if I remember correctly, I think that your furthest, like your best results about P8, right?
I'm pretty sure I've been higher than P8 before. Are we about to call me out for something that I'm not aware of?
I mean, I knew you were going to pick Brands Hatch, but I think that the last time you were on Brands Hatch with us, you crashed into, what's it called, the first corner?
You know what? Jaden's doing really well right now with Jamie Wilson in second place, Simon Trendle and Manuel Saraleghi. I didn't send you any Christmas cards anyway this year, but now you've made it.
Was enough.
Yeah. Wow. Just wow. This is to anybody else in the chat as well. No, I'm not going to talk about Christmas cards, but do you have a track yourselves that you feel that you have a particular strength at? Just so we can just change the subject quickly, because I am feeling very bruised and battered right now.
Yeah. No, let's head back to the racing and not to Jay's peak on the tower, on a Christmas tree, I meant. So looking at the current standings, Jura Leikkonen is still leading that pack. Right behind him now, Jamie Wilson, Jaden Scotton, Simon Trendle, and also Manuel Saraleghi. Jamie is pulling them all towards Jura, who's doing a really good job. He seems to now lose some pace, and Jamie is definitely within that tow. But Jura is still the current leader of the Pro AM class. Right behind Manuel Saraleghi is Dietmar Huus and Thomas Dan Rich, who are also blasting and lightning fast. And Stuart Gibbons, I mentioned something about maybe him falling back a little bit further to the current position he has, but it's still remaining and keeping that 8th spot.
Absolutely, and this is going to do wonders for the championship. There is a bar at the bottom of everyone's screens right now where we can actually see in real time who is jumping into the pits. We've already got 3 individuals, all 3 classes actually, as we've got Daniel Mills, we've also got in there Jeff Saunders and Stephen Cole, all going into their first pit stops on that lap number 9.
Meanwhile, I quickly need to do old man stuff.
We get it. You need to change the bag. You go change the bag. You go have fun.
Yeah, you're cool with that? Well, I'll send you the pic again.
No, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I've just ate. We're on board at the moment with Simon Trendle. We'll go inside and see what... If you were next to Simon Trendle right now, you won a prize, and it's just like you get to drive in a Pro Drivers TCR with him. This is exactly what you'll be seeing right now. Number 89 chasing down Jaden Scotton with Jamie Wilson and race leader Jura Leikkonen in front. Manuel Saraleghi is 1.4 seconds behind, so we'll be pushing it a bit hard, but you can hear that. Off the accelerator, off the throttle, so soon, and Simon doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to battle. He already has the lead group keeping him up to speed. But with those little lifts, slightly earlier than usual, just control the car and get a really strong exit. Simon is hoping for maybe a lap, 2 laps of fuel. Jaden Scott is jumping into the pits next, but we can hear straight away what Simon's tactics are going to be for as long as he can in this race until he absolutely has to jump into the pits. But I would say if you're comfortably fuel saving with fast cars all around you there, you're pretty confident of where you're going to end up finishing. And to my questions earlier, give me Knockhill every day. So Knockhill, one of the tracks, I think there'll be many people, Loki, who will disagree with your statement of Knockhill, but I love Knockhill, fantastic track. Wish it was chosen in the TCR votes even more, but you know, sometimes I understand why a lot of people don't like it. They just don't like the challenge. In a moment, Stuart Gibbons and Dandridge fighting into the corner, and Dandridge taking the outside line, Stuart Gibbons on the inside. And they'll carry on their fighting, which will do those they're fighting with absolutely fine behind. Tony Walker chasing in 10th place with Carl Hardy in 11th and Dennis Titular in 12th. Both all making their way round nice and neatly. They do have the back marker of Chesney Van der Broek, who, despite crashing out early into the race, has decided to jump back into the car and try and make up some time.
Yeah, good on Chesney that he keeps on driving, and he kept on driving. I would assume that if he stopped driving, his girlfriend would definitely, or fiance would definitely close the door out of him and let him camp outside. So good that he has some me time.
Or maybe he's jumping back into the rig because it's warmer there. He's just ready for the inevitable of being blocked outside. So long as he stays inside beforehand, he can get himself prepared for the long night ahead.
So Jimmy Wilson now currently putting a lot of pressure on Joao Leiko. He's now all over him within 0.2 of a second as Manuel and Simon coming there. Jamie has a really good exit line there. It almost felt like Joao was going to go in for a pit stop, but he didn't. Now he's pulling alongside him, Jamie getting on the right. This is the view from Simon Trendo, hoping that maybe something would happen, that he can get past both of them. And you can tell that the Audi Grunt is there going uphill compared to that Hyundai Elantra on the left from Euro.
Yeah, nice, really simple move there from Jamie. Euro doing fantastic to stay as high as he had, and maybe similar to Simon not giving it his all in defending himself, maybe Euro's just at a point where as long as I can just keep up with these four, this is going to give me the best possible chance of staying ahead of Dandridge, Hardy, Walker, everybody else who has jumped in the pit this lap, which by the way is a lot of people jumping in and out of the pits this lap, so we could see everybody else here, maybe minus Saralegi and Simon jumping into the pits as well. So a lot of different strategies being done here by all through the grid, but at the end of the day, whoever passes that line at the 40th minute and onwards, that's what we're all going into this crescendo into.
I think that the different strategies are also due to the fact that if you're going to encounter back markers, and I think that Octane probably speeded in the pit lane because he now has a drive-through to serve, so that's unfortunate for him. But being at the front of the pack, you are looking at where is everybody on track, and am I able to pit and stay out of the traffic as much as I possibly can. Further down the pack, you're trying to look forward to a spot where you could pip your opponent. My best guess now currently is that Simon Trendle and Manuel are able to do one more. I might be wrong, but I think that Jamie and Jura need to pit this one. Jamie is known for putting pressure on people that are trying to fuel save, and he was leading Simon Trendle, who is an amazing fuel saver. Knowing from IVRA, I know that Manuel is really good at that as well. So I think that we might be that this pack might be split up when we pass the pit entry.
Yes, I agree. I think it's the exact two that you said as well, and they're going across, and we're getting all four in at the same time. So we could see I think we're going to see Simon Trendle, who nearly goes into the back of Eurolaknen. I think we're going to see Simon and Manuel come out ahead of these two. Due to fuel saving, it means they need less fuel in their cars. But this is going to be their pit stop until the end. Let's have a look. Place your bets now out of these four. Who is coming out in front?
My money is on Simon because I can tell that he's not driving on the pit limiter either. He's pushing that car to that 81 kilometers or 61, whatever it is in that pit lane, because you can't go over it, but you have to drop the pit limiter.
And
now,
here we go. Best seat in the house. Right.
Jamie's gone. Simon is gone, sorry. Simon now pipped. Jamie in the pit. That's what I meant. And there we see Jura getting away, Manuel getting away, and
Jura's
Manuel
in front of Manuel. Wow.
That is amazing.
That is massive for Simon.
Simon outdid all of them. He might,
and Jaden managed to get back in between them. So Jaden and Jamie both having fantastic pits there. I think that's Jaden. I'm sure Jaden was behind Jamie.
He was.
So Jaden's actually managed to lose the space to Simon. Oh no. Yes, lose the space to Simon, but gain one to Jamie. Maybe being behind Jura has caused a little bit of a shift in some positions there, but
Mr. Walker is still out. I didn't realize, but Stephen Walker did the extra lap.
Wow.
That's what I like. I said this. I told him this. You need to do the extra lap. If you're able to hold the pace, do the extra lap. But I don't know how long the pit stop is. We do have a timer of that, but including the in time and out time.
I can have a quick look at that, but I feel Stephen's not actually as far in front of the rest of the group. If you look at the track map, if Stephen hasn't pit, I would have expected him to be a lot further in front than the cars that are currently chasing him. Maybe I'm wrong there.
He lost 6/10 coming down to the carousel and going towards Canada corner. So he was further back than that pack. I think you're right. Now the question is did he gain something with the ultra fuel save, which definitely again was possible if you were able to keep a decent pace.
Suppose only time will tell, but Stephen Walker is in. Yep, he is in the pits now. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how close everybody is. Those chasing, like Simon Trendle, they're all coming around the last couple of corners. I think it could be a miracle if Stephen ends up being in front of these right now.
He's at a standstill, and he's moving already? Or is he not? I think he's moving. I think he got him.
It's only just stopping now.
No. Oh, okay. Well, that was less exciting than we hoped.
Yeah, and we're going to see any second now Simon making his way around, but Stephen is moving pretty quick. I would imagine Stephen's got one of the more further in front pit boxes, so he won't lose too many places and should keep himself into the top 10 hopefully. But wow, what a camera angle that is until Road America is extremely rude by placing some trees in our way.
Pete Newman, meanwhile, just did the quickest lap of the race. We haven't mentioned him a lot. I think he drove quite anonymously the whole race. He is there and thereabouts, currently driving fifth, not that far back from Manuel, who seems to have dropped a little bit compared to Jamie, Jaden, and Simon. The quickest laps on display on the left-hand side. So currently it's Daniel Mills with the quickest lap. And this is this set up as in... Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. I thought that you...
No, it's fine. Just SDK things.
Yeah, I completely messed with my head because with when you had the pro standings and the end standings, it gave the quickest lap per class.
Yeah, I could do that if you wish. There you go.
Oh, actually, it might be a good addition, to be honest. Now think about it. I'm going to suggest this to people because this would be a lovely addition to get involved into it. If we're able to get this data out, then you have an incentive to drive the quickest lap as a Pro AM or AM driver. I don't know if it's possible, but I'll throw it in the mix.
It's worth asking, but at the moment, speaking of asking, Jaden's going to be asking a lot of questions to Simon Trendle here, side by side on the approach to Canada corner. Jaden, if he can brake late enough, can hold a quicker outside line. Just edged it out, Simon Trendle did. Horrible Yod. Wow! Going into the final couple of corners, Jamie Wilson looking at making an attack on Jaden Scotton as well. How good are your exits here? Jaden's going to have an advantage of a bit of slipstream here, but he does not have the advantage of raw Audi power. I'll tell you what, Simon's not actually had that good of an exit out of the corner. We could be on for a close one here.
I think that now Simon chose not to move over on Jaden, thinking that the outside line towards turn 1 is quicker, which is definitely possible if you're able to keep and carry that speed in it. Now, do they leave enough room, or is this going to end up at this? Jamie is getting involved now as well. He's being a nuisance to Jaden Scotton, who's now on the inside of Simon. Simon still on the outside, turning in, both still alive, side by side. Jamie now getting a really, really good exit, getting to the rear of Simon. Is Jaden falling for his own attack on Simon?
Well, we've got both the Chimera cars on the inside on the approach down the hill. Look at the speed from, yep, a little bit of bump drafting. Got to be very careful with that one. Jaden's going to have the outside line, but if he runs that outside line neatly, oh, a bit of a squirrely back end there from Jaden. I think Jaden's going to miss out on this one, and we could have a Team Chimera first and second.
Oh,
Jaden's fighting.
Jaden matched the completely holding on the outside, but this is bringing Manuel to the fight as well. Jamie has a good exit here. Now Manuel is thinking, am I going to make it 3 wide? No, he's going to bump draft Jamie to get past Jaden Scotton. And Jaden Scotton, this is what we said earlier.
Joining.
Still Pete Newman out of thin air is coming up now. Manuel's coming on the inside of the carousel, which is mega dangerous. Are they going to go side by side towards the king? Or is Jamie going to bail out of this one? We want to see side-by-side action through the king without any tears. Now Pete is thinking, well, I hope you guys don't mess up because I'm not lifting a bit here. Now Pete is sending it on the inside. Jamie completely outlasted everything because I was actually rooting for Jamie to get the better line on Jaden. Jaden managed to defend Jamie. And it all started with that move of Jaden on the inside of Canada corner.
Absolutely incredible, and I'm so happy. Yes, that is Claire Obscure Expedition 33 levels of cinema just there. Get us to the iRacing Awards, we'll sweep it all.
A lovely, lovely racing, and this is exactly what we were describing, Jay. And I don't want to pat ourselves on the back, but it is definitely what we were talking about. You can go side by side, half the lap, maybe the full lap, and you don't know who's going to win.
No, absolutely not, and the battle's not done yet. This is absolutely fantastic for Simon. He is hoping to see more of that in his mirrors. No late dives into the first corner, but as we've already seen throughout this entire race, there's a few more moves going on between Dandridge and Asboff. Asboff at the moment with a slowdown, so that's going to put Asboff down a couple of positions. But all these are going to go in ready for round number 2. Place your bets all, because I have a feeling that we're going to see another couple of lunges. Jaden might have enough space between himself and Manuel, but all it takes is one slight mistake and everything can end up getting turned straight onto its head.
Meanwhile, further back, Daniel Mills is still catching Stephen Walker, but he's within 2.6 seconds. Current leader of the AM Championship is still Stuart Gibbons on the 11th position. A really good job by him, and Johan Leikonen was leading the field for a very long time, but is also still in the mix in that pack, which is fighting for the win.
And there's still so many close battles. I'm trying to get as many of them onto the camera as possible as Paul Hurley overtakes Dennis Titular. But we're going to go straight back to the front because they're all once again about to go through the kink, one of the most dangerous but rewarding sections of the track. If you can get your lines right and use the least amount of your wheel as possible to keep that top speed going, especially these front wheel drive cars, you need every mile per hour or kilometre if you're a tad strange as you can get. I'm loving this race. This is such a fantastic race. The fact that we have right now the top 6, including one of them being a pro-am who's just happy to be there, all fighting for this win here. It's what makes this track just so fantastic to watch in these high stakes situations with 5 minutes left.
Pete is so good under braking. He always has been. He's been a nuisance to me years.
What an exit.
the way he breaks, I'm jealous of it. If he is able to keep his head cool, he's definitely one of the most talented drivers out there. And also, obviously, previous winner of the last season. Manuel is having a tons of pressure. Pete is picking the outside, but he's tucking in. Is he going to go for the inside? No, he is holding back, not trying to fight too hard, maybe to stay in this fight.
Yes, and this isn't going to be done just yet. I really want to jump over to Demis, who's had to go into the pit lane with a meatball. We were just on him a moment ago with him fighting with Paul Hurley, but something's going to happen here, especially for the lead.
Jaden is pushing Simon along. Simon is not giving anything on that inside. He's going to be... He's going to need to move to the outside, but he bailed out of it. Didn't really want to risk it. Now Manuel is getting bogged up a little bit because Jaden was a little bit more safe. Pete made the Dutchy move there, but went back in. Manuel went for the defensive move, and now has been put out of line a little bit, but managed to keep the car going. Pete is all over him, and right behind him, still there's Jamie Wilson, who you can never count out for a late dive and trying to bowl everybody off. Right?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic racing going on. I really want to show the crash, but I really do not want to miss anything at all because everything is happening here. There's less than a second between the top three at the moment.
Now the big question is, we are on 37 minutes and 20 seconds. Are we gonna get that extra lap as currently stands? I don't think we are. I think that this lap after this one might be the last lap unless something immense happens. Jaden on the outside coming into Canada corner. Simon defending on the inside. Now Jaden is putting himself vulnerable out of a good exit from Manuel. Is he going to stick in the nose on the left hand side coming up this corner? We see him all slotting in. Pete is putting pressure on Manuel. Manuel is now putting pressure on Jaden. Jaden is putting pressure on Simon, and right behind them a little slightly further back are Jamie and Jura, still hoping that they can capitalize on this. Are we going to get that extra lap, Jay? Do we see Barney dislocating his shoulder? He's on the left-hand side here somewhere.
There he is, last lap of the race.
Last lap of the race, so it's all cards on the table currently. Pete moving to the left, Simon moving to the right. Pete diving in, Manuel diving in, super late there. Mega send here. Slight touch on Jaden, but they are still alive. This plays into the favor of Simon, who is weaving a little bit, which is allowed. One move on the straight, and we don't really care about that. Pete has a good accent here. This is absolute prime racing here on BSTV.
Absolutely, and I feel this corner could change everybody's race if something goes wrong. What's Jaden going to do? Is he going to keep that inside? He does, but Simon now going to the outside, and we could get a 4x4. Jaden's got to make that move, or else he misses out, and Simon's been tagged, but he keeps it going.
Murder, she wrote.
Jaden in the lead, and we'll have to watch that again afterwards, but Jaden now under pressure from Pete Newman and Manuel Saralegi, who are both side by side, and they foam back into a snake pattern.
Simon Trendo got put over the incident limit due to that.
Oh no.
There was a 4X right there, so he's been riding that slight needle of 14X, which is the cutoff point, which now causes Simon to drop down the order because there's no way to serve that penalty at the end. So he is going to be in for a penalty for about 20-25 seconds. I can't really recall what the number is. Now the question is Simon going to let Jamie pass? Maybe that he is able to get some pressure there. But now currently as it stands, Jaden Scotton is getting his win on the feature race. Manuel Saralegi still putting pressure on him, and Pete trying to get involved. Jura is now also slightly looking on the inside of Jamie, but tucks back into that line.
And we only have 3 corners left, and there can only be one winner at the moment. Is it going to be Manuel Saralegi? Is it going to be Jaden Scott?
There's going to be a scent right there. He's going to go for it now. He tucks back in. He didn't dare to do it. And now it's all on Jaden's exit. It looks decent. It looks good enough. But Manuel is getting the slipstream of the life. He is putting his foot down on that throttle and trying to get past him. But I don't think he's able to do so. I see a couple of cars flashing lights, but I don't see flashing lights from the Camara boys, but I think they feel they are being played right there.
Yes, there could be more to come from this race afterwards, but as it stands, Jaden Scotton wins the feature race at Road America. As a special shout out to Stuart Gibbons for getting an absolutely fantastic 12th place overall finish and winning the pro-ams, with Jura Laakkonen staying behind the big boys at the front, getting a top 6. But wow, there's still another couple of fights going on, a few side by side. We're trying to get through as many of these as possible. Stefan Kolk as well, just missing out on Santa Helena. And what a final 3-4 laps that was. I can't put that into words.
You called it, Jay, coming up to the third or fourth corner, depending on how you count. Going down that hill, you mentioned right on the straight, this is going to be a defining corner for the race, and it all went down. I think that Simon decided, I think that the way Simon was defending, I think it was good enough. I feel like Jaden might have overshot a little bit, but we're definitely going to rewatch that and hope that we don't take over, Jay. Is that the thing with the race? Maybe want to rewatch the replay right now.
I'm seeing if this is it just here. We might be able to get a bit closer. We can.
We are on the straight right here. Jaden's coming down on the inside. Simon's on the outside. Simon is still here, and he turns in. And I feel like Jaden slightly overshot, but it looks okay from this angle.
We can check another angle on that one if you like. In fact, this is probably the best angle to look. We know we don't usually do this, but this was a race-defining move here with Manuel Saralegi taking the outside. Jaden had no choice really but to try and keep that inside line, and
Simon left the cars with, I would say. Speed squeezing through like a badass right there, by the way. He just went for that gap that was not existing. Barged Manuel a little bit out of the way just to get through, ending him on fifth position. I'm not sure if Simon's going to be happy about that one, but I'm sure that the drivers will figure it out in the chat afterwards.
Yeah, it's a situation that neither of us want to be either side on, unfortunately. Let's not let it sour today too much and overshadow the fact that today has had some absolutely incredible racing to offer through both races. The sprint of the first half of the evening to the tactical noose of others on the feature. We saw people trying to undercut, we saw people going until the tanks are empty. We even had people who still had a little bit left to spare but knew that it was going to be a nice short pit stop had they gone in when the rest of the pack was as well. And to have 6 drivers still fighting for that win up until the end of a 40-minute race, you know it was good if that was happening.
Definitely. If it's this close at the end, it's always bound to somehow end up in tears for a certain person. Now, this time around it was Simon, but it doesn't discount the fact that we saw amazing racing tonight, getting through the first corners twice without any big and major incidents. So Jaden Scotton, our winner of the feature race, who pulled out blinder on the inside of Simon. I'm sure that is going to be discussed afterwards in the interview waiting room, and I'm pretty sure that they will figure it out, because that's the kind of league we try to run. We give some, we take some, and sometimes it ends up with tears, and sometimes you're on the better side of things. But in the end, we all love respectful racing, and I'm sure they are going to find common ground here. Manuel Saralegi put into stellar performances. I think the first race he won, and the second race he came in second after the reverse grid, starting 15th. Pete Newman squeezing through between what's his name again? Simon, thank you. Between Simon and Manuel, managing to get third position. Jamie, what are you laughing about? Jamie Wilson on fourth, and Jura Laakkonen, the winner of the Pro AM class, on fifth, who had an amazing race. Got down past. Who did he pass? Well, I don't really know, man. I can't remember. But at least he led a good portion of the race and came in fifth. Stephen Walker, the murderer of Renault Era, came in sixth. Tried something different with the fuel saving strategy that definitely was the better strategy. performed outright, but he didn't. So now he ended up on 6th. 7th is Daniel Mills, who is the most unlucky person tonight. Got in 2 incidents and still managed to get, with a half-ass car, get 7th position, which is an amazing job. Tamas Asbov coming in 8th and 9th. Our newcomer, Thomas Dan, he came in 9th on his second outing tonight. A really good job for the Pro AM standings for him. Carl Hardy, after all the stuff he's been through, after all the fat he lost and regained, he still got back to 10th. Good shout for him. Stuart Gibbons, that deserves a special shout out. We mentioned it a couple of times, Jay, but coming in 11th as an AM driver on a track like this is a really, really good job by him.
Insane effort. Absolutely insane. Fantastic to watch.
12th was Dietmar Hoes, who started on pole. That was the guy who started on pole. I remember now. Tony Walker, 13th, and Dak Cowder on 14th. Daniel Lewis is 15th, and Fraser Garrethy came in 16th and second AM driver. Roger Morton on 17th, and 18th was Paul Hurley. On 19th, we got David Ayres, the current leader, and I'm not sure he's going to be the current leader after the race of tonight. But we'll see when a certain person comes back from whatever the hell he is doing with his girlfriend on a Spanish island somewhere. And we hope to get the standings corrected and Jamie back into into pro as well.
I'm glad that's how you ended that, because I thought for a second you were going to say, I can't wait to hear about it. And I'd be like, please, no.
I've heard about it. Giggity gig, I've heard about it, yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Simon Trendle, after a major event at the last lap where he got put over the incident limit, got shuffled all the way back to 20th. 21st, Jeff Sanders and Mika Santa Helena came in 22nd. Stefan Klauka was 23rd and 24th. Fiona Siddons, who had a really good outing as well, because I think that she's outperforming everybody currently from the result card team. Rene Earhart, the person who got a meatball, went in for that meatball in lap 5, so he had to pit and now had a really stinker of a night, to be honest, but he still preserved and still kept on going, which deserves a compliment by itself. Andrew Littler, 26th, and Art Payne on 27th. Ronald de Jong on 28th and 29th. Chesney van der Broek, who also had bought cheap hardware and then had an incident in the second race. Devin Stichelaars on 30th and 31st is Stefan Gobo, who got murdered in Canada Corner. I don't think we rewatched that incident. I'm not sure if he definitely got murdered, but he definitely had an incident in Canada Corner, which put him off, and he decided to call it a day, which I completely get. Henry Mantle also had an incident coming out of the kink and crashed his car right there. A bit bad luck for the boys, for the teammate boys Daniel and Henry. Chris Dixon ending up that grid also called it a day at a certain point for coming in 31st. Well. So I would say let's get right into it. And to your pleasure, you can interview as the boss.
The boss.
As the boss, you can interview your mate, Jadis Cotton.
Mate?
But we have to ask the critical questions. What hell happened? Did he do it on purpose? And is the
You can't say, did he do it on purpose?
And is the Illuminati involved or not?
I can't believe you're even suggesting that.
I'm kidding. I'm completely kidding, obviously. But here's Jaden Scotton for you, mate.
Jaden, how are we feeling after absolutely?
I'm kidding. Sorry.
Like you, just lock yourself out of the booth and just stay there for 5 minutes, okay? Can you do that for me?
No, because I'm being a dick.
Jaden, the last 5 laps, absolutely thrilling, fantastic racing to watch. What was going through your mind as you came out, as you saw those 4 cars coming out the pits, and you just all having avoided each other for a good 5-6 laps, all coming together for an epic finale? What was going through your head?
Pure stress. I knew that I had to try and get Simon ASAP because I had Jamie, Manuel behind. I knew I had to get him quick, and I kind of blew my chancer in turn 1. I thought I had him, but he somehow managed to stick around the outside. And from there, I kind of thought I didn't see myself winning the race, but I just stuck in there. I was struggling all race. It's well, first and second race. It felt like people were defending really well against me. It does
Hmm.
happen when you're mixing it in with, you know, 6K drivers. They are quite good. Um, it felt like I just couldn't make a pass without also risking being overtaken.
Yeah, that's definitely a wonderful thing us as neutrals are watching on this track, and we did see that towards the end of the feature race where Manuel took the right hand side. You sort of had to keep to that inside to try and stop Manuel from trying to get a move through, and it's the beauty of if you have that experience on this track to force people into a position where they're uncomfortable being or don't really want to be in, you can technically plan your move out 3-4 corners in advance, even on a track as big as this. Race number one, well done on getting into the podium positions. Once again, fighting it out with Manuel Savalegi, Pete Newman, with Stephen Walker, Simon Trendle behind. Probably fair to say that you've fit in quite easily with these pros. You're fighting out with previous championship winners, and well, today a feature race win when all said is done. We're looking at the initial standings. How are you finding life in pro so far?
Yeah, well, I was surprised by my own pace tonight, to be fair. I still think I've got ways to go in terms of racecraft. I think I got mugged at the end of race one there. Um, Very clever from Paul, just sent it down the inside. I shouldn't have attacked Manuel. There was no real chance of me getting past, end up losing the place. And I mean, it sort of stuck out Daniel. I think it was 50-50 there. Unfortunate. Didn't mean to hit him, obviously. Obviously, I don't mean to hit people ever. Just want to clarify that. But
Yeah, wobbly.
yeah. But that.
I wasn't listening. What was that?
Don't worry, I'll tell you afterwards.
But,
You mean the murder? No, I'm kidding, man. I
Ignore
know.
him.
No,
Ignore
no,
him.
no. No, don't ignore me because
that.
I say very smart things the whole time and during the whole broadcast. But now, I mean, like from my point of view, it was you were on the inside. Simon tried to give you the space. You overshot slightly. Not even that. No, not even that far.
Yeah.
It's not even that you overshot it by 5 meters. It's like you overshot it by 20 or 40 centimeters. But when racing that tight, it's just enough. And I mean, it's just unlucky. It happens. And it's just bad luck that Simon was on the incident limit, which sucks. It gives you a bad taste in your mouth, a bad feeling. But it's just racing. I just get on with it. Don't worry about it. Simon is a chill dude, unless he gets murdered like you did it to him. But no, I'm kidding. I
Yeah.
can't stop. Sorry, I need to say the word murder the whole night.
All I can say is, thank goodness this is Wobbly's last night in the booth. For
Oh, it's not. I'm doing it for Yates again.
well, yeah,
No, but,
that's
in hindsight, Joe. I mean,
that's their
in Jay,
problem. I don't mind.
in Jaden's defense, I get it. It's just you put the nose in the corner. You hope that you stick it, and it's just. I mean, if it wasn't because of the incident points, nobody would have talked about it. It would have been okay. Well, it didn't stick. It happens, you know. So I'm just
I
saying, don't worry about it. That's what I'm saying.
I did feel pretty bad crossing the line because I
And
really,
you should. No, I'm kidding.
I really felt like
I'm muting him in a second. I swear to God. Shall we move on from the subject? We'll.
No, wait. I wanna.
Oh yeah,
give my
go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
So I think race one informed what I did there. As I had gotten mugged by going to the outside and the race one, I thought, no matter what, I'm sticking to the inside here. And then Simon moves to the outside, I'm presuming to cover off Manuel, and then I just, that split second decision, I thought, I'm going to send this. And I got sort of right. I think, again, it was more of a 50-50 in the end. I think it was more my fault, to be fair. But I do feel better about it after watching the replay. I did cross it. I felt pretty bad. I didn't really celebrate the win, but I do feel better about it now. But yeah, it was card racing.
I
I am
would
sorry,
I,
Simon.
I would define it, Jaden, as it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's one of those things. It happens. It's racing. We all try to win. It's in the heat at the moment. Again, it's one of those things. It's an incident, and well, I shouldn't. I don't think if you. I don't think it's on anybody specific. Obviously, I'm going to call you a murderer for the rest of the season. But good luck for you. Good luck that I'm not in the booth the whole season.
Please don't take it personally. He's got 4 people on his list so far.
No, I'm kidding. It's one of those things. Don't worry about it.
Right, next week we do our first enduro round of the season at Daytona, which
oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect endurance track anyway. Regardless, you got the Raw before the 24, and the TCR officials and IMPC are all there as well. But let's be honest, if the Raw before the 24 is on, I don't expect many people to be jumping into that IMPC whatsoever. How do you run at Daytona? And are you confident of getting some fuel saving in and outlasting the rest?
I'm a bit worried because I've not driven it since I won't say butchered the bus stop chicane, but it looks quite scary now with that tire stack there. So yeah, I'm dreading it a little bit, but I do like Daytona. I am looking forward to the Raw as well. Yeah, it'll be good fun. Save for no major death at the chicane.
Yes, absolutely. I haven't seen the weather forecast for it yet, but I'm hoping for everybody's sake it's nice and sunny. So finally for tonight, Jaden, anyone that you want to give a shout out to?
Yes, not Chesney's will. Disconnected again.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have bought cheap hardware, did you?
I've had enough of Wobbly. Can someone please wheel him out? Yeah, Chesney's that's really unfortunate for Chesney. We might see him tonight for a chat. If not, then yeah, maybe time for some shopping. Anyone else for a shout out?
Yeah, best team. It was good to have Mika. He ran pretty well. Even though he had some PC problems. We had Lee in the chat as well. Acting as a sort of crew chief for us for race 1, so that was nice. Yeah, and rest of the team. I think was Jeff in it tonight? Yeah, he was in it tonight. Yeah, Jeff. Hopefully he gets in the voice chat next week, and we ping him 20 times. Make sure he does. Yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic, no problems at all. Jaden, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on the win tonight, and we'll hopefully see you next week at Daytona. Ladies and gentlemen, feature race winner, Jaden Scotland.
Congratulations, Jaden. Jamie Wilson, early in the booth because you put down a massive result tonight.
Yeah, that went fairly well. Better than I expected, certainly.
You and Simon, it was. I mean, we are used to you guys being one blob on track, but tonight you were exaggerating.
Yeah, well, we were kind of working together, sort of, in race 2. There was a point near the end there where I was behind Jaden, but I had a slight overlap and was preventing Jaden from getting behind Simon for the better toe, which then gave me a load of momentum. And so I just thought, well, I need to transfer this momentum somewhere. So I just basically was like shooting in the back of the car with a shotgun or something, just propelling him forward. That sort of thing. It's nice to have, a teammate with me in those sort of situations. We can sort of bounce off each other. Literally, whatever we need to do to get either of us, more momentum or whatever. It's quite good fun.
Yeah, because I can't. I closed iRacing, but I can't. Yeah, recall. But you and Simon, you seem to be bump drafting the whole first race, and you like your pace has been amazing the last 2 seasons. What did you change?
Nothing really. I found the car that I get on with. Is a lot of it is that in the same way so many people get on with the Honda over anything else, or either the Elantra or the Veloster over something else. For me, it's the Audi. It just fits the way that I drive the car. particularly when it comes to braking. And just I feel comfortable in it. I can get the most out of it. That doesn't mean that it's perfect everywhere, and that I'm perfect. That's certainly not true. But I can get closer to my actual sort of performance level in it versus the other cars. So, and having a bit, enough seat time in it now. Been in it for a couple of seasons now, so it's like riding a bike. You just used to it from the first lap.
Yeah, good to see that you found a car that really suits you, and definitely the TCRs, the variety is scarce, but the way they drive is still massively different compared to each other. So that second race, you were a bit at the end of that pack fighting for the win. Um, it seemed that Simon outdid you in the pit stop. Was that just the fuel saving?
Well, yeah. So he said early on, like, don't worry about me. I'm just going to fuel save behind you, sort of thing. When we were together, and I figured, well, I my best use here is to just push and get us both as far up as possible. And yes, I'll lose a bit out in the pit stop or whatever, but I'll at least give us both, opportunities if I can sort of catch up, which I did manage to do. I did just about manage to get Euro in that first stint. I was quite pleased that on the lap before we pitted, I just pipped him to the line by I think 9,000ths to get that extra lap point. I was
Nice.
quite pleased with that. So yeah, I got two, I think, extra, lap lead points, which was something I always try and go for if I've got the opportunity to do it. And yeah, again, that's just another thing about working together. Like even if it didn't necessarily match the perfect scenario for me, like I maybe should have fuel saved, and then I would be on the same terms as everyone else in the pit stop or whatever. I'd rather use my pace to drag him forward, so at least one of us has got a chance to actually win the damn thing, which is nearly what happened. So it was definitely worth taking that path.
Yeah, good to hear that teammates are still working together. Again, it was lovely, and we discussed this during the broadcast that we know that obviously there's your teammates, and you guys know each other in real life, and you go to events with each other. But it's still the rivalry is there, but it's always there at the right time. And it's never exaggerating it. You're never punting each other off, which is a rare thing with teammates anyway. That there's never be well never probably in the past there has been, but usually there's not any blue on blue.
No, it has happened in the past. I mean, Simon and I've been teammates since 2008, 7, so a long time. That's thick end of 20 years. So, and yes, we have had a few comings together in that time. Uh, you
Always
may
Simon's
remember some of
fault.
those, yeah, from the Cleos, for example.
Oh yeah, I remember the Cleos. Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh man,
Yeah.
we should do that again. I mean, the Cleos were so much fun.
um,
Was
but no,
was with the broadcasting team with the person that shall not be named though.
that's true. But yeah, we always try and think, what's the best that we can achieve together, as opposed to what one of us can achieve, really. And it's unusual for me to be relevant in that discussion. Like in the V8s, I just don't have the pace of him. I will never have the pace of him. He's just that quick in it. But here, he's not quite up to speed to his speed in the car just yet, because he's coming back to it after a long time away from it, and from TCR as well in general. He's struggling a lot with particularly like brake release behavior type stuff. All the stuff that I'm finding suits me isn't suiting him as much yet. So eventually he'll figure it out, and then he'll have more of a gap. But when we're equal sort of pace, or close to equal pace, we'll I don't care who comes out on top, as long as it's one of us.
You shouldn't try to relearn it too much this season, because next season is going to be an overhaul anyway.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that. I'm hoping that the characteristics stay the same, and I think BOP, for example, right now is in a pretty good place. Has been
Yeah,
for a while.
I'm scared for that, because they're going to introduce a new car. So my best guess is that the new car is going to be OP in the first season.
That's a common trope, but it's not always true. That's not been true in some GT3 cars, for example. But
Yeah, but GT3 has like 8 cars.
True. But it's yeah, it's a risk. If they're going to make changes, then it's a risk. But at the end of the day, it's progress. And it's more content, and so it might be a bit rough for a season or two if they don't quite get it right. But so be it.
Well, fair enough.
It's still going to be good racing, whatever happens. So.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Good to see you on top of this like this, Jamie. It's been lovely. Again, I said it last time. I said it the last week as well. It's been really good having you around in the background and pushing the buttons that Jay couldn't push and me can't push. It's been great that you stuck in like this to give Pete a rest. And as I mentioned during the broadcast, we should definitely try to loosen the load on Pete so we can do all can do this stuff and all do these things. So you've been signing up people, also Sam, obviously, Sam using in the background as well. But again, it's been a team effort the last 2 weeks, and it definitely could tell that how much of the load is at Pete, and we are grateful for your help during these days that he is away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That goes in both directions. It's Jay in particular stepping up with this SDK business as well, like I mentioned last week. It's not an easy thing to have a crash course on and be competent with. And I've watched the broadcast back last week and it was pretty much flawless. So, yeah, that's all good stuff. I'm happy to help wherever I can. I happen to have had a couple of weeks off work, which helps. So, yeah, just tidying some stuff up on the SDK stuff and doing some entries, and I did some decal stuff as well, revised a little bit here and there. That's all fine. But yeah, no, you're right. Pete does an awful lot in the background, and there's a lot of systems that need to all be in place, and they don't necessarily talk to each other. So there's a bit of sort of manual effort involved in getting all the systems working together. So, and hopefully, it's appreciated by all that it kind of works. One of these things that is done in the background, and if no one notices it, then it's a good job. So.
Yeah, definitely. And as a general reminder, we do this for the community, obviously, because we are involved in the TCR community. Jay is a big part of the TCR community as well. BSTV is a big part of the TCR community due to the fact that we run one of the longest running leagues, and we'd like to continue like that, doing that. And again, this is without of any profits, things, everything that we earn, it goes back into BSTV, and that is the way we want to do it. So it's all volunteer work, and we love to do it. And I love to shit on Jay the whole broadcast. That helps as well.
Yes.
Did you notice the descriptions that I gave you both on the race info?
First thing we said.
Oh, we definitely did. we mentioned it. Not the first thing. I was looking at the screen. I was like, oh, this has got to be Jamie's work. He's a bastard.
But you did blame me at first, which I felt incredibly hurt at. But then you read my job description and just like, yeah, okay, maybe it's not you.
It went like this. Like my train of thought was like this. So I was looking at it. It's like, oh, it says just being here. Well, which is obviously true. I just rattle, And then my eyes went up. Was like, oh, that's weird that he would give himself that description. No, that's a good one, Jamie.
You should have seen what I put it in there, what I had in there before I changed it.
Oh, mate, just leave it there. It's fine. Anyway, Jamie, thanks for all the help, and congratulations on your really good racing results tonight as well. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, well, shout out to Simon, obviously, for being just a very, very good teammate as usual, and he's feeling quite under the weather as well. I mean, I know he had that incident with Jaden at the end there, which was unfortunate, but so he'd kind of, I think he had enough for other reasons at that point anyway, because as soon as that race finished, he was like, I'm going to go and lie down. So, yeah, and shout out to Jaden, to be honest, because I haven't seen that incident in detail or anything, but it's one of those last lap sort of things where it's like, people are going to go for it. It's just one of those things. But that to one side, because I haven't seen it. Jaden's drive in that was immense towards the end of that second race. To keep Manuel behind, I could see the just sweat pouring out of the car. That was a very, very, very good drive. And I was distracted watching it. I had Euro behind me, sort of poking his nose in now and again, thinking, stop it, I'm trying to watch what's going on in front.
The smell came across the pond, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, shout out to Jaden and yeah, to everyone else that was in that group and was racing us the whole time, and to the field for not having a massive turn 1 crash, as far as I know.
No crashes in turn 1, no crashes in
Which was
turn 2,
amazing.
but
So
yeah, but definitely watch turns 5 or 6 in race 2. Good having you, Jamie. Again, as I said a couple of times, congratulations on the result, and looking forward to see you again next week on the Enduro event.
yep, cheers guys.
Yeah, see you, man. Now we're gonna bring in Chesney, the one with the cheapest gear and hardware in town.
You'll need to say that to his face, I think.
So, welcome to the booth, Chesney. So, me and Jay were discussing, did you buy your hardware on Temu, or did you buy it on Alibaba?
There's some site called Wish.
Oh, yeah, Wish. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh,
The
definitely.
Holy
Yeah, I mean,
Trinity.
fair,
I
fair
mean,
enough. I mean, good lad. I mean, that is proper LED paint in it. I mean, good job on you.
I must say my wheel disconnects once. Jay's disconnects multiple times in and out.
But he runs fat as shit.
And I finished my races. I'm joking.
I finished. Technically, in the second race, I finished it technically in front of all the AMs, just with a slight deficit in the lap counter.
Well, you had your fair share of bad luck. So your wheel snapped to the left, and you mentioned in the chat that it was just the USB cable getting unplugged or something.
Yeah, my rig was a little bit too far back, so while driving, my USB in the wheelbase was coming loose by the vibrations, and the cords that kept on pulling. So won't happen again, I hope.
And until that point where you decided to yeet it into the wall because of the USB cable, how was your race?
I had a lot of fun actually. So yeah, after my second race crash, I was kind of kerfuffled with a few angry bees. So I just wanted to see my pace and keep up with them without annoying them too much of being too much of a nuisance. So I think
No,
that
don't watch the
went
screen.
well.
Oh no. Oh dear. Looks like you got another one for your list, Wobbly.
There has been a murder. So I got this Excel sheet of murderers tonight. Stephen Walker's the first one. Daniel Mills apparently is the second one. Jaden Scotton is on it. You are on it. Stefan Goebel got
Why
murdered.
am I a murderer though? I got
You
murdered.
you got murdered by the wheel, but you also punted somebody else off.
No, I got punted off. Watch
Okay,
lap.
okay, Jay, let's rewind this. Watch the stream. Click on Jay's stream in Discord and let's rewatch it. Jay, rewind it.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Jay, rewind it. What is this, Chesney?
Oh, didn't even
What
know.
is
Please
this?
apologize to Oliver then.
What is going on here? Your audience, look at this. You punted him off.
Yeah, I punted them off. Okay.
Murderer.
Okay. So I got karma tenfold back.
Well, okay, fair enough. Second race, you are involved in that massive incident in turn 5 and 6.
Yep.
What was your take on that?
Shit happens. It's racing.
You can't curse on this broadcast. You're not allowed.
Oh fuck.
Hang on. There we go. That's better.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
No, but yeah, stuff happens. Could could have been gone differently? Yes, but it happened. No harm, no foul. I'm not angry at you guys. No, I'm not angry. I had a lot of fun, so that's the main thing.
Oh, that's the most important thing, and that's the reason we all turn up every night. Well, every Wednesday night normally. Well, if it was up to Pete, you would have turned up tomorrow night at New Year's Eve. But well, hell, and again, that's the reason why we're all here. We're all here to have fun. We're all participating in a hobby and doing something we love, and that is making fun of Jay in a booth.
Wait,
Always for the
what?
queen.
What?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I meant racing. Sorry, that's why we turn up and race.
Oh, okay.
So, Chesney, next week, endurance race on Daytona. Are you looking forward to that one?
Well, normally my bad luck streak has to be over, so yes, I'm looking forward to it. Practice for the roar, and I'm hoping it will go well.
So, I got a theory about bad luck. So, if you encounter bad luck in a couple of races in a row, the moment when you start to hit, when you get out of that bad luck streak, is always getting closer. Because if you, for example, would have a streak of 10 bad luck races, then the 11th race would be a good luck race. You're always getting closer to the race that you're doing well in.
Yeah, it's like now it's my third full season in BSTV, and every season I had the first 4 races were a disaster. So, and I can come back.
So I mean, the next season you will be having better luck, maybe, or maybe the season after that. But it's always they're always getting closer to the point that you're having better luck.
I hope.
Oh, that's it.
I
Well,
hope. Because
that's just pure math.
I want to sleep inside for once.
Quick math. Well, fair enough there. Chesney, is there anyone you in particular you want to thank or want to say hi to?
My fiance, she's laughing at me, so she's writing stuff in chat, I think.
Oh, is she? Who's your fiance then in chat?
She's going by Axel.
Oh, that's the one who showed the boobs. Okay.
Yeah, she can do that sometimes.
This is an adult content farm now.
I'm so glad Pete's back next week.
Well, it was good having you, mate, and I completely understand your fiance laughing at you. But again, my wife laughs at me as well when I start to ramble shit like this.
Good.
Because she finds it hilarious, Jay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, now I'm laughing because of my fiance. She's laughing so much. She almost pissed her pants. So
Well, good having you, Justin, and we'll hope that your bad luck streak is gonna end real soon. Again, the good luck is coming your way closer, and we hope to see you have a good outing in Daytona.
of course I'll try.
Well, see you again, Justin, and good luck.
Talk to the gator guys.
So now, Jay, we are coming to the end of the broadcast, but before we end it, or before you end it, we have one more important thing that we have to do, and that is find a driver of the meeting. I already thought of my phone. Do you want me to go first, or you want to pitch in earlier?
You can go first if you want, because there's a very good chance that I've picked the other one.
Okay. So after going through the process, going through court, getting my lawyers involved, while we are having this broadcast, I decided that the best vote would be to go for Jura Laikonen.
Fantastic.
Was that on your list?
That was on my list. That was one of two. So you've saved me from having to leave somebody out and choose a favourite child.
Well, Jaden Scotland, of course.
No, I've decided to go for Stuart Gibbons. Absolutely fantastic yeah. Race 1, 12th place, getting into that reverse grid, and through absolute grit, determination, and fantastic decision making, kept it in there, just missing out on a top 10 from Kyle Hardy, but in 11th place. So I think Jura and Stuart as both our drivers of the day is very apt and a fantastic decision.
I think you're spot on. I didn't really think about Stewart, to be honest. Now that you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, that is actually a really good shout. It doesn't dispute the fact that Jura had a good outing as well. But yeah, they both deserve the vote that they got given to.
Yes.
So now, Jay, after all the racing we had it's time to call it a night and call an end to the broadcast. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, especially if you're driving in the league. We are counting. If you haven't been subscribed, you're getting a spank. So we want you to subscribe to it. If you haven't and you watch the broadcast afterwards, excuse me for all the dirty words and all the dirty jokes Jake made. And please, and please also give us a thumbs up so we can expand the community and get even more TCR drivers involved. Thank you all for the drivers turning up, and thank for everybody is involved at the back end, which of the names which you probably never heard of. So we really appreciate you all, and we are looking forward to next week on Daytona. It's up to Jay to say goodnight.
Up to me. Well, I don't know why you promised people a spanking if they didn't put a thumbs up on the video, because now we're going to have our lowest liked video of all time. But thank you to everybody who has been watching the broadcast the last 2 weeks on the Tuesdays. We will return next Wednesday for the Enduro at Daytona, which is going to be a very heavy Daytona week, not just for BSTV but for the TCR officials as well. A massive thank you to Wobbly for coming in and giving me a massive hand while Pete has been away on holiday. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in here. We are going to edit this bit out so Pete doesn't hear it, or else he will pull his hair out over that one. But
he doesn't have any hair.
Okay, in that case, you know what? I'm not going to go that inventive. Like Poppy has already said, make sure you put a thumbs up on the broadcast. Subscribe to the channel. Get yourselves in the Discord. Sign up for the league if you find that this is the sort of league that you want to be a part of. But we will pack our bags, get a hitchhike off a random trucker, go down to Daytona, and we will all see you there for next week. Take care of yourselves, but most importantly, please make sure you take care of each other. Good night,
and
everybody.
Happy New Year.
Oh yes, hope everyone had a great Christmas and have a happy New Year. Now I seem like this.
I wrote this down. I forgot it.
We professional broadcast next week. See you then. Good night.
Bye.